Great evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. My name is Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth once again here tonight is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Other than the whooping you put on in college football, I am just doing wonderful.
Well, yeah, I think everybody's gotten the itch. I've certainly been playing some more, but time to get down to business as we are to the Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash here tonight. We had the Right Rear Racing Sovereign Showdown last night. Group hot laps are underway, brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Big thank you to that group for sponsoring hot lap sessions both last night and tonight. So again, that's Green Man Gaming. And the first group is on the racetrack. You see the times populating on the left-hand side of the screen. Aiden Price up at the top of the board at a 13:21. Josh Borowski now gets bumped from second as Ty Williams pops up there with a 13:35. These drivers work around the fast Eldora Speedway. It looks like the bottom line is the quicker line so far here early on in our first hot lap group. Again, these are custom fixed setups brought to us by Premier Racing Setups, so shout out to them over there for that. And all the sponsors from last night, and we have a lot of repeats again here tonight of the same sponsors, so always happy to have them on board. And you, the fans, for tuning in here on the Buckeye Racing Network, certainly appreciate it. Give us a shout out, let us know you're tuning in, let us know who you're pulling for tonight's 40-lap feature event.
I'm gonna have to manually click on group 2 here, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who is in group number 2.
Chase Porter.
Chase Porter. Here they are.
Jax.
Here he is.
Tyler Bickford, Dean Reynolds, Matt Grimm, Andrew Allen, Steve Metcalf, and Jack Anderson.
Yeah, Group 2 now on the racetrack. Jack Anderson quickest so far. Now Stephen Metcalf at a 14:83. Now Andrew Allen at a 14:74. You see the lap times getting quicker. Tyler Bickford popped up there with a 13:99. Chase Porter at 13:46. And there goes Jack Anderson to a 13:33. There now Matt Grimm. Pretty good run for him last night. Solid top 10 in the Sovereign Showdown last night. Up to third on the timing board so far tonight with a 13:34. Should be coming to the checkered flag here in Green Man Gaming Hot Lap Session number 2. Jack Anderson quickest in group number 2. Matt Grimm second quickest in the group, both second and third respectively on the timing sheet so far. Let's see. All right, group number 3 already rolling on the speedway. Nathaniel Wimhoff, Austin Hickman, Matthew Croakey, Dustin Glenn, Connor New, Ryan Hodge, Bradley Cox, the drivers in Green Man Gaming Hot Lap Session number 3. As they're slowly working their way around, about to take the green flag here for 3 quick laps to get the shakedown of these cars here tonight. We're taking a look at Bradley Cox in the number 45 machine. Dustin Glenn just flashed across the line. Struggled a little bit last night. Oh my, Ryan Hodge just popped up to third on the board, so now quickest in session number 3 at a 13:34. Connor New second quickest in this group at a 13:39. Matthew Croakey third, Wimhoff and Cox fourth and fifth, Glenn and Hickman 6th and 7th, respectively. That's going to wrap it up for Greenman Gaming Hot Lap session number 3. Ryan Hodge, quickest in the group at a 13:28 in group number 3. Wait to see. Here we go. Corey Bodeno, part of this Hot Lap session. Caden Berry, last night's Sovereign Showdown winner. Charles New out here. Justin Osborne in the 00 machine. Fred Hoffman, car 13 out here. Joey Hintz as well. Donnie Battiest in car 67. Slowly working around the racetrack. Didn't see Corey Bodeno last night, so he's a new face so far here tonight. Again, Caden Berry, familiar green and blue colors on his car. Definitely a driver to watch here tonight as the car is going to start winding up. Green flag's going to go in the air. Keep an eye on Caden Berry as he works his way around the world famous Eldora Speedway. Going to run up near the wall here for his first lap. That puts Caden 19th quick at a 13:74. Justin Osborne, quickest so far at a 13:52, 16th overall. See, lap times kind of even out. Now Caden Berry goes quickest of the group at a 13:51. He works the inside part of the racetrack. Across the line, that should be his third lap. So track losing just a little bit of pace as it gets more wear and tear on it, but these drivers pretty grouped up as far as lap times. All drivers really close together. They're on their quickest lap in that Greenman Gaming Hot Lap group. All right, the next batch of drivers. I think this is Greenman Gaming Hot Lap session number 5. Does that sound about right, Tim? Uh-oh, I think we may have lost Tim here tonight. Ross Kaiser out here in this group. Trevor Royer had an issue in the feature last night when he had a good run going. Spencer Putney. Jason Randolph, great run last night. Michael Schurig. Robert Puckett out here. Tyler Radeball. And Stephen Light in that number 5 machine.
This is Group 5.
Hey, Tim's back. Thought I lost you for a second, buddy.
Yeah, I had to go get some water.
Oh, it's all good. As these cars are getting wound up, Tyler Radeball, quickest in the group now. Spencer Putney at a 13:49. As soon as I say that, Trevor Royer crosses the line at a 13:48. That's good for 14th quick, respectively. Ross Kaiser, best stat at a 13:37 as he makes heavy contact with the outside wall, getting into turn number 1. Randolph now second quick in the group at a 13:46. Stephen Light bringing up the caboose here in this group at a 13:81. And that should about round out our hot lap groups here tonight.
Bowen Smith is gonna have his group hot lap right here, but he'll be all by himself because he was a little late.
All right, so Bowen Smith in car 012 out there now. That looks like 41 drivers locked and loaded in to get battle underway here in the Premier Racing Setups King's Clash. so far for Bowen. Lap time of a 13:70 the last time around. Good for 29th quick here. Also looks like Dakota Osborne heading out on the racetrack. Bowen Smith improved to a 13:57, good for 23rd quick. Dakota Osborne must be another late arrival as he is out on the racetrack as well. First lap for Dakota, 13:66, good for 30th of 42 now drivers in the session. Lap 2 for Dakota, a little slower at a 13:80. Rounding out of turn number 4 and across the line. See if he improves here. No, just a little slower yet, so Dakota Osborne gets credited with a 13:66. That's going to bring to a close our Green Man Gaming hot laps. Aiden Price with the quickest time in the session at a 13:21 in his group. Ryan Hodge, second, a 13:28. Jack Anderson, third, a 13:32. Matt Grimm, fourth, at a 13:34. Now, I know we're going to roll into tonight's single car qualifying. So if you're tuned in tonight for the first time, we are going to have single car qualifying here, which is a little different than how iRacing does it. Well, I guess it's still single car, but when you have 40 cars, we get to see each and every one here. Bring the qualifying laps to you live here on the Buckeye Racing Network, so you will not miss a thing. Matthew Croakey is up first. In car number 2.
Matthew in the number 2 machine's gonna be winding it up through 3 and 4 as he takes his green.
Absolutely going to use the bottom side of the racetrack here on lap number 1. Let's see what sort of lap time he puts down on his first lap. A 13:74, lap 1 for Matthew. He flashes across the screen, across the stripe to complete lap number 2. And he is better at a 13:66, so a good pickup there for Matthew on lap number 2. Also, everybody at home, this is our Victory Fuel single car time trials. Big shout out to them for sponsoring our time trial session. Everybody gets 2 laps apiece, just a little reminder. Tyler Radeball heads out onto the racetrack. Now he's already completed 1 lap at a 13:58, goes straight to the top of the board. Lap 2 for Tyler, a little slower at a 13:83. Jason Randolph out on the speedway now as they are rolling through these first couple of drivers. Jason rolling around here to complete lap number 1. Lap 1 for Jason. To the top of the board at a 13:55. Great first lap for Jason. Lap number 2, a little bit quicker there yet at a 13:50. Trevor Royer now on the racetrack here for his first qualifying lap. Across the line at a 13:49, lap 1. Lap 2 for Trevor. Let's see if he picks up. No, just a touch slower. Robert Puckett already on the racetrack. Just starting first, lap number 1. Robert wasn't with us last night, but he's here tonight in the 38 machine. Lap 1 for Robert. A 13.87, good for 5th quick. Looks like he's just going to back out of it here and be a one and done. Bowen Smith now. And car 012. Lap 1 complete for Bowen. He goes to the top of the board at a 13.46. He's going to shut her down and call it one and done. Now it looks like Donnie Battiest now on to the racetrack. Looks like they skipped over Caden Berry. So Donnie Battiest running his qualifying laps. Remember, Caden Berry is a guaranteed starter in the feature from winning the Spring Rush Championship here back in May. Lap 1 for Donnie, a 13.68.
Caden chose to go on out there after Donnie Battiest.
Oh, okay. Good info there. Donnie's second lap just a touch slower. Caden already about to begin lap number 1. Up near the wall, got the speed wound up in that number 12 machine. Lap 1, a 13.82. Going to drop it down and use the lower side of the racetrack here on lap 2. Let's see what sort of lap time Caden Berry puts in here. Across the line, 13.63. Good for 5th quick so far for Caden Berry. Richie Gaines up next in car number 70. Lap 1 at 13.50. Good for 3rd quick. He's going to go ahead and shut it down. Matt Grimm up next. And the number 91 machine. Now to turn 4 and across the line to complete lap number 1. Matt Grimm, 2nd quick at a 13.47. To the line, just a little slower on lap 2, so Matt Grimm going to be credited with a 13.48. Chase Porter, I believe, is on the racetrack now. And lap 1 for Chase is a 13.56. He rolls into 6th place on lap number 1. Lap 2 a little slower to 13.68. Chase Porter takes a 13.56. Tyler Bickford up next. Uh-oh, into the outside wall just a little bit. Be careful. That's going to negate this lap. And kind of hurt his second lap because he had lost momentum from getting into the wall there in the middle of 3 and 4. Let's see what sort of lap time he's able to turn here. 13.73 for Tyler Bickford. Good for 11th so far. Connor New out on the racetrack now. That number 10 machine. Lap 1 is going to be a 13.52. P6 on the board so far. Lap 2 is going to be negated as Amanda Manenga, or excuse me, Landon Manenga out on the racetrack. Now, oh my goodness, that car was stopped. That was almost catastrophe for Landon, and it negated his lap. I think it gave him an X point. So that lap did not count for Landon. Across the line to complete lap 2. Landon's able to run a 13.74, good for 13th quick. Josh Borowski, can't forget about him. He's already locked into the show here tonight for being the first non-qualifier back in May in a School of Sim Racing event. So he has no worries, Tim. He gets to be a part of the big show no matter what. Lap 1, a 13.60 for Josh, 9th quick. Lap 2 for Josh, a little slower at a 13.80. I don't see the next car. I don't see the next couple of cars, so that would be maybe Austin Hickman up next. Oh, excuse me, no, Dean Reynolds out on the racetrack. I didn't see his name for a second. Lap 1 for Dean at 13.69 in that 0.79 machine. Tim lives out near you. North Syracuse.
Oh, wow.
Lap number
Look at that.
2, a 13.68. Better, still 13th quick. Now, now 13.64 he was able to pick up there on his second lap. I thought he already ran 2 laps, but Dean Reynolds now 11th quick. Austin Hickman out there next. He ran a 13.82 on lap 1. Lap 2, a 13.93. Armando Melgoza, driver out of Mesa, Arizona. Up next in the 531 machine. Lap 1 for Armando, a 14.06. Lap number 2, a little better, 13.86, still 17th quick. Jack Anderson's already started his lap in the number 7 machine. Lap number 1 for Jack. Put him to quick time at a 13.46. Betters Bowen Smith by just a little bit. Lap 2 for Jack, just a tick slower, but up to the top of the board here, 20th, 19th car out. That's pretty good. Joshua Olson up next. I don't see him. Yep, Nathaniel Wimhoff out there now in the number 48 machine. Lap 1 for him at a 13.65. Lap 2, just a little slower at a 13.70, so Nathaniel still takes a 13.65. Lap 1 for Ty Williams, 13.61 up to 11th quick. Lap 2, a little slower for Ty, still going to be 11th quick. Go to Osborne out there now. Kenny Hoffman also starting his qualifying lap. Lap 1 for Dakota. 13:52, good for 7th quick. Kenny Hoffman, our second place finisher last night in the Sovereign Showdown, out on the racetrack now. Across the line, 13:53 into the top 10 at 9th for Kenny. Lap 2, just a little better at a 13:51 into 7th quick. Bradley Cox in the 45 machine. Up to P4 there, Tim. Lap 1 a 13:48.
Track is showing it's still got speed.
Absolutely, and we're on our 24th car, so there's still a little speed to be had here. So far, Bradley a little slower on lap 2. Spencer Putney up next in the 17 machine. 14th quick for Spencer on lap 1 at a 13:60. Still about little under 20 cars to go, about 18 cars still left to qualify here in our Victory Fuel time trial session. Spencer's second lap just a little slower. He's going to take a 13:60. Corey Boudinot, driver out of Athens, Ohio, on the racetrack now. Lap 1 for Corey, a 13:96, good for 26th. Across the line, lap 2, a little slower at a 14 flat. Corey going to get credited with a 13:96. I know. Next driver on the racetrack, car 43, Andrew Allen. Driver out of Dover, Pennsylvania. Lap number 1, a 13:60, good for 13th quick. Lap 2, just a little slower for Andrew at a 13:70. Stephen Metcalf out of Knoxville. I'm not sure if it would be Tennessee or Iowa. Lap number 1 for Stephen. It's going to be a 13:74, good for 24th. Lap 2 for Stephen. Better at a 13:56. Nice pickup there on lap 2, up to 11th, almost 0.2 of a second. Stephen Light in car number 5 out on the racetrack now. Lap 1, a 13:69. Lap number 2, a little slower, almost identical at 13:70. So 24th for Stephen Light. Charles New the third and car 21. Lap 1 for Charles at a 13:77. Good for 26th quick. Lap 2 for Charles, slower at a 14:24. Chance Carr out of Del Mar, Delaware, in the 02 machine. Lap 1 for Chance at a 13.60. A lot of 13.60s, at least 4 of them so far here. A little slower on lap 2 to a 13.62. Jax Yone out of Boertown, Pennsylvania. Lap number 1 for Jax at a 13.56. Thank you, Stephen. Knoxville, Iowa. And lap 2 for Jax at 13.67, just a little slower. Showing Carson Kirby up next, and here he is. Out of Napanee, not sure the state. Tim, you have any guesses? Lap 1 for Carson at a 14.01.
I am not sure because I don't see the information that you see.
Oh, okay. 33rd quick for Carson Kirby. Joey Hintz now on the racetrack. Driver out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And I completely agree. Fairly close field all the times. These lap times are super close together. Now keep in mind, everybody's on a custom fixed setup that's all the same, so that helps keep the lap times really close. Joey Hintz lap 1 was a 13.51, good for 9th quick. Lap number 2, a little better, 13.51, up to 9th for Joey Hintz, so a little bit of a pickup. Aiden Price, next driver up on the racetrack. Steven, not a problem. Happy to bring the coverage of the Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash live here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Aiden Price turns lap number 1 at a 13.51. That's going to be right at the top 10 mark in 10th. Lap number 2 for Aiden, just a little slower. So he's going to get credited with a 13.51. Michael Schuring now on the speedway in the 37 machine. Lap 1 for Michael at a 13.74, and he's going to call it right there in 30th. That's 30th quick. Ross Kaiser out of San Jose, I'm going to assume California. He's got that machine wound up here on lap number 1. On the high side for lap number 1, Ross Kaiser runs a 13.80, good for 32nd quick here on lap 1. He's going to drop it down low here in 3 and 4. Oh, the car steps out just a little bit, probably more than he was hoping for. Still a good pickup to a 13.62 into 22nd spot for Ross Kaiser. Ryan Hodge up next in car 19, driver out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Ryan Hodge is lap 1, a 13.53, up to 13th quick. Lap 2, a touch slower. Ryan Hodge is going to take a 13.53 and 13th. Let's see, showing Donnie Watts over at Right Rear Racing out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Last night's event title sponsor. Lap number 1 for Donnie, a 13.65. Good for 27th. Donnie flashes across the line to complete lap number 2, a little slower at a 13.72. Donnie's going to take a 13.65 at 27th place. Dustin Glenn out on the racetrack next. 39 cars and just a couple more left. here in our Victory Fuel qualifying session. Dustin Glenn, lap 1, a 13.76, good for 34th quick. Lap 2 for Dustin, a little slower at a 14.15. He'll take a 13.76 and 34th.
Justin Osborne takes the green. All the way up next to the wall. 13.66.
And good for
All the
29th.
way down to the bottom.
Lap 2 for Justin, a little slower, so he'll get credited with a 13.67, good for 29th. Fred Hoffman now showing the last driver to qualify, number 42 in car 13. Lap 1 for Fred is a 13.96, good for 41st. Got some Lightning Motorsports fans in the chat. Jake Kirby says Napanee is in Indiana, Tim. Thanks, Jake, for that. Fred Hoffman's lap 2, a little slower at a 14.14. Fred Hoffman's going to take a 13.96 and 41st here to close out tonight's Victory Fuel qualifying session. Jack Anderson setting quick time here with a lap of 13.46. So congratulations to Jack for quick time here tonight. I believe that's going to do it here in our qualifying session. And we'll roll right into heat racing action here tonight. Tyler Radabaugh fans out in the chat as well. All right. Tim, we're not missing any drivers, are we? You hearing anything from race control's end?
No, the wheel has been spun.
Oh my.
Spun, and there is no invert.
The wheel has been spun and there is no invert here tonight. So, now that is very interesting. Last night we had an invert of 4 and they did do a random pick on that. Now I am seeing conflicting things in my YouTube chat as Ross Kaiser came across and says an invert of 8. So, as we're waiting on race control to wrap up their duties to figure out how they're going to set up our heat races here. Tonight. Well, folks, we're going to roll right into our heat racing action, and up first in heat race number 1, 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions sponsors heat race number 1, going to be 10 laps the distance here in heat race number 1. Again, that's 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing sponsoring our first heat race of the night. As I think race control is getting the lineup set, it's going to take a little bit of extra time. Sorry for the hold up, but they're trying to make sure everything is right for these drivers before we continue on any further with tonight's activities, especially since $200 is on the line here tonight. And heat race number 1 is about to grid up here. The starting lineup is going to look like this for 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions heat race number 1. On the front row is going to be Jack Anderson and Jason Randolph. Row number 2 is going to be Ryan Hodge and Josh Borowski. Row 3, Dean Reynolds, Tyler Bigford. Row 4 is going to be Austin Hickman and Benjamin Wirt. excuse me, Benjamin's not running, so 7 cars in heat race number 1. And it figures my timing is not wanting to cooperate with me. So, folks, while I have a moment here, I'm going to try to get...
It is confirmed there is a 0 car invert, so straight up from qualifying.
All right, no invert here tonight, straight up from qualifying. Thanks for that information. I know I saw a couple of things in my chat, so I guess that's pretty good for the drivers that qualified well, Tim, for sure.
That is for sure.
Everybody's waiting patiently
We'll
behind the pace truck.
Track was not farmed or anything by the looks of it.
All right, so we're just rolling with the way that it is. Real quick, want to touch base on the amount of cars transferring here tonight in each heat race. How many are you showing on your end, Tim?
Dean Reynolds is going to be given a EOL.
Okay, Dean Reynolds and EOL to start Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions Heat Race number 1. I'm not sure if you heard me a second ago. Just wanted to get a quick check on the amount of drivers transferring and how many heats we have tonight.
We are showing 8 to the feature. 8 go straight to the feature with showing 6 heats.
6 heats and 8 to the feature. Well, that would give us, never mind. That's going to throw a wrench into things because they're doing things a little differently tonight with our consolation races. They're going to be ran in the warm-up session here tonight, not in an actual consolation session.
Okay, I am sorry. It is the top 3 are going to the feature. The top 2 are going to the redraw.
All right, so the top got to be in the top 3 here, these drivers. Top 2 drivers to a redraw. Here, the pace truck is going to peel off. Let's hear these engines roar to life as we begin. Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions Heat Race number 1. Jack Anderson leads us down into turn 1. A little bit of contact at the back. Josh Borowski and I think Tyler Bickford tangled up for just a moment. The ships are both righted on in those camps, and we are going to continue on. Lap 1 in the books, 9 more to go. Anderson, Randolph, and Hodge, your top 3 as they work out of turn number 2. Austin Hickman trying to fend off the charge from Dean Reynolds. He's going to hold on to 4th for now, but Dean's taking a peek to the outside. Down the back straightaway, he bumps off the outside retaining wall. He keeps going there, no harm, no foul. Look, Hickman with a little bit of a run to the inside of Ryan Hodge. He had a peek there in turns 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, Jack Anderson has been steady so far out front, 0.4 of a second ahead of Jason Randolph. Randolph in a good spot there in second. Ryan Hodge trying to fend off the charges from Austin Hickman and Dean Reynolds as 5 laps down, 5 to go. Will be 4 to go at the line this time. Ryan Hodge got into the outside wall. That allows Austin Hickman to close right in. Dean Reynolds is there as well. Hickman tried to use the inside line. Dean Reynolds with the momentum out of turn 4. He's right on the tail tank as they enter turns 1 and 2. He has a peek to the inside. Hodge with the momentum on the outside is going to fend off Reynolds for now as they come to 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. Back up front, Jack Anderson now with a half-second advantage over Jason Randolph, takes the white flag. Works his way down the back straightaway into turn 3. Out of turn 4 to the line. Jack Anderson wins 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions Heat 1. Jason Randolph will be second. Third is going to be Ryan Hodge. All 3 drivers there transfer. Dean Reynolds, Austin Hickman, Josh Borowski, and Tyler Bickford will have to battle it out in the consolations here in just a bit. Now we roll right into Oliver Sim Sports Heat Race number 2's grid. On row number 1, it's going to be Bowen Smith and Kenny Hoffman. Row 2 is Stephen Metcalf and Chance Carr. Row number 3 is going to be Nathaniel Wemhoff and Stephen Light. Row 4 is going to have one driver that's going to be Armando Melgoza. Andrew Reigel, part of race control here tonight, so he will not be participating in Oliver Sim Sports Heat Race number 2. Heat 1 in the books. Our top 3 from Heat 1 lock into tonight's feature.
The top 2 will also go to a redraw.
Absolutely. Those drivers could get shaken up on where they start here in tonight's feature. As we wait patiently, field now rolls behind the pace truck. Bowen Smith, Kenny Hoffman, row 1. We saw Kenny Hoffman last night in the Sovereign Showdown, was really strong. Was battling with the likes of Ross Kaiser and Caden Berry there in the closing laps of last night's feature. Stephen Metcalf, Chance Carr, row number 2. Nathaniel Wemhoff, Stephen Light, row 4. Armando Melgoza tags the back of the heat in 7th. Tim, how about you do the honors here? Get us underway in Oliver Sim Sports Heat Race number 2.
Bowen Smith is going to calmly work his way down the backstretch. Going to work his way through 3. He's going to get to the zone, and he fires away. Hoffman maybe a little loose on the launch as he goes all the way to the outside. Good lead for Bowen Smith on Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman back to the outside along with Chance. And then it is Stephen Metcalf, Nathaniel. I'm sorry, someone got in the wall. I got a little distracted. Stephen Light got in the wall. He's back up ahead of Armando as we are single file. Kenny Hoffman slides right up in front of the leader. Bowen Smith back to the inside of Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman able to hold Bowen off as Chance looks to the inside. They're side by side, maybe a little contact. Chance is gonna work his way by as Bowen battles right on back. They're dead even off of 2. He takes command of second as Chance is under fire for 3rd.
Oh my
big
goodness!
contact.
Chance Carr, crazy accident down the front straightaway here at the Eldora Speedway. Yellow flag is displayed. We're going to go back and try to decipher exactly what happens to Chance out of turn number 4. We see Chance get together a little bit with Metcalf, Stephen Metcalf, down the front straightaway, and Metcalf bumps the wall, but
that was some huge net code.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy there. I mean, cars were not really close together at all, and it was a massive crash for Chase Carr entering turn number 1. here tonight. Heavy, heavy damage to that race car. It looks like he was able to bring that car down and use one of those famous fast repairs, and he's going to tag the back end of this heat once again. We're just halfway home. Just 5 laps complete. Still 5 laps to go. Kenny Hoffman is the leader. Bowen Smith and Stephen Metcalf. That's the top 3. That will make it into tonight's feature directly from this heat race. The others are going to have to battle it out in the Consolation in just a little while. You know, these drivers are trying to get all they can here because they know how crucial and important it is to be in the top 3, so they don't have to worry about trying their luck in the Consolation. Kenny Hoffman waits just a little bit. He fires late out of turn 4 and blinks getting into turn 1, and he has returned, now blinking once again. But it is a single file line around the outside part of the speedway, as the first battle is going to be Nathaniel Wimhoff. He's going to look underneath of Stephen Metcalf. Wimhoff tries to slide up and shut the door. Metcalf with a good run out of turn 2 doesn't allow Wimhoff to do so, as this is the battle for the final transfer spot. And it is a good one here, as Kenny Hoffman up front is going to bring us to the white flag in heat race number 2. Looks like Metcalf, as they've been able to fend off the charge from Wimhoff for now. Let's see what happens down into turn 3. Metcalf plays a defensive line. Wimhoff looks underneath of him. But to the line, Kenny Hoffman wins Oliver Sim Sports heat race number 2. Bowen Smith will be second. Stephen Metcalf's going to bring it home third. And those 3 drivers transfer right into the feature. Nathaniel Wimhoff, Stephen Light, Armando Melgoza, and I believe that was Chance Carr, will have to go to the Consolation here in just a little while. This is going to be Right Rear Racing's heat race number 3, and the starting lineup looks like this. Row 1's going to be Matt Grimm and Joey Hintz. Row 2, Chase Porter and Spencer Putney. Row 3, Donnie Watts and Landon Menenga. And row 4 is going to have one driver. That's going to be Robert Puckett. How fitting, though, in Right Rear Racing heat race number 3 that the head honcho over there is part of heat race number 3, and that's Donnie Watts in car 74.
Maybe he did that on purpose.
Maybe so. We'll never know. Donnie's got a little bit of work to do starting on the inside of the 3rd row. He's got to advance up a couple spots, try to get in the top 3.
It all starts on the start. That's when he needs to get to work.
Absolutely. From the drop of the green flag, Matt Grimm fires away. Right Rear Racing's heat race number 3 is underway. Joey Hintz, Chase Porter side by side into turn 3. Hintz with the advantage for now. Spencer Putney, he works around the outside of Chase Porter, and Porter's kind of stuck in the middle, losing a little bit of ground. Joey Hintz, I think, with a little bit of a connection issue as the top wings off of that race car. Oh, now it's back on, but Landon Menenga's throwing his hat into the mix as he's following close behind, and Menenga and Porter tangle up out of turn 2. That's going to drop them a couple of spots. Donnie Watts was able to work around both of them, move him into 4th, just one position out of the transfer. He makes big contact with the outside wall. and he gathers it back up and is able to continue. But Spencer Putney is putting the pressure on Joey Hitz for second. Watts.
Is he going to keep applying the pressure to try and get that redraw spot, or is he going to just settle on in?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to keep the pressure up as we're at the halfway point here in this heat race. He has a good run down on the inside. Is he going to be able to slide up to complete the pass? No, he is not. But Matt Grimm leads the way to about a half a second advantage over Joey Hintz and Spencer Putney. There's now 3 laps to go, and it's quite a ways back now to Chase Porter and Landon Meninga as they touch wheels getting into turn 1. Both drivers able to save it, though. Just 2 laps to go, and our race for the top 3 is heating up as Hintz and Putney has closed the advantage just a little bit on Matt Grimm. White flag in the air just one more time around, and Hintz blinked out big time. I'm sure Putney doesn't quite know where Hintz is at as they work through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. Matt Grimm wins right rear racing heat race 3. Joey Hintz second, Spencer Putney third. Landon Meninga will be fourth, Chase Porter fifth, Robert Puckett sixth, and Donnie Waits in seventh. 4th through 7th will have to go to a consolation. Matt Grimm, Joey Hintz to a redraw, and Spencer Putney. Those 3 will be transferring directly to tonight's feature. Starting lineup for a third-party gaming heat race number 4. Row 1 is going to be Bradley Cox and Aiden Price. Row 2 is going to be Jax Yohn and Ty Williams. Row 3 is going to be Matthew Croakey and Michael Shoring. Row 4 is going to have 1 driver, and that's Corey Bodno. Another 10 laps here for another 3 spots in the big show here tonight. Bradley Cox, Aiden Price, Jax Yohn in a good spot. Ty Williams, Matthew Croakey, Michael Sherving, Corey Bodno on the outside looking in. I'm going to toss it over to my partner Tim Henderson. He's going to bring you to the green flag here to start third-party gaming heat race number 4.
Bradley Cox is going to lead Aiden Price, Jax, Jan, and Ty Williams as we're going to go green right now as Bradley Cox fires away. Aiden fires. He's all the way up on the high side.
Oh.
3 wide off of 2. Wow, what a move.
One car launching into the air, Jax Yohn, and I don't know who the other car was. That was Michael Sherring. As we switch over to him, heavy damage on that race car. Definitely going to run it into the pit lane to the service of his crew. My goodness, what a violent accident getting into turn number 3. You see the 3 wide there. Tim called it out of turn 2. And it looks like Jax makes contact with that car on the outside and gets his machine out of shape. And he bumps right into Michael Schuring with no place to go. And Schuring goes for a wild ride into turn 3, into the catch fence. Over and barrel rolls a few times as well. So quite an adventure to start third-party gaming heat race 4 for Michael Schuring. But the good news, if there is any from that, he was able to drive right into the pit lane and not have to worry about towing. So he's going to rejoin at the tail of the heat. As the field lines up 2 by 2. Bradley Cox, Aiden Price, Matthew Croakey. Or excuse me, Ty Williams is going to be on the inside of row 2. He's sitting in that third spot for now. As the pace truck is off, Bradley Cox fires. We're back to green flag racing in heat race number 4. Ty Williams gone to drive that car down on the inside and slide up. Not able to complete the pass on Aiden Price, but he's going to run down low once again. Big slider through 3 and 4 for Ty Williams. Aiden Price turns it back underneath of him. Got to be careful. Ty Williams is going to be in the clutches of Matthew Croakey and car number 2. So you have Ty Williams, Matthew Croakey, Michael Schuring battling for the transfer spot. And Aiden Price, he's trying a little bit different line. That allows Ty Williams to get to his outside to battle for second. 4 cars battling, and Matthew Croakey hard into the outside wall. Luckily, he's going to be able to continue, and the green flag is going to stay out, but unfortunate circumstance for Matthew Croakey in that number 2 machine. Aiden Price, Ty Williams still battling hard as we are at the halfway point here. Michael Schuring had to get on the binders hard getting into turn 1 as Ty Williams and Aiden Price tangled together just a little bit. But out front, Bradley Cox is up to a 1.2 second lead over Aiden Price, so he is setting sail for shore. Ty Williams with a car length advantage over Michael Schuring as he is not letting Ty Williams rest at all. Schuring with the peek to the inside. What's going to happen into 3? Schuring with the big slider across the nose of Williams. Williams with a crossover of his own down the front straightaway. And they're going to almost try to swap positions in the middle of 1 and 2. Schuring squeezes up. I think Williams had to jump out of the throttle as we're coming to the white flag. Williams slide up in front of him. Schuring back to his inside. What a battle for the third and final transfer spot. Real quick up front, Bradley Cox out of turn 4 takes the checkered flag. Aiden Price is going to be second. Third is going to go to Michael Schuring. Those top 3 into tonight's feature: Ty Williams, Corey Bodno, Jax Yon, and Matthew Croakey into the consolation races. But congratulations there to Bradley Cox for winning third-party gaming heat race number 4. All right, this is going to be the School of Sim Racing heat race number 5, and row number 1 is going to be Trevor Royer and Dakota Osborne. Row 2 is going to be Tyler Radabaugh and Ross Kaiser. Row 3 is going to be Justin Osborne and Dustin Glenn. And row 4 is going to be Fred Hoffman. Magic number is 3 here once again as the field rolls out of the pit area onto the racetrack. Trevor Royer really fast last night in that number 90 machine. So he got caught up in an accident about halfway through last night's feature event. To go to Osborne to his outside. Row 2, Tyler Radabaugh, Ross Kaiser. Ross Kaiser ran in the top 3 most of last night. He's on the outside of row 2. Justin Osborne, Dustin Glenn, Fred Hoffman. The starters here in heat race number 5. All right, pace truck peels off this time. Trevor Royer leads him into the restart zone. Green flag goes in the air. move to the inside for Tyler Radeball. Uh-oh, Ross Kaiser gets spun around. He's trying to continue. Fred Hoffman gets collected in it as well. Yellow flag waves on lap number 1. Let's see exactly what happened. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. Let's take another look at the replay here. Oh, it looks like Ross Kaiser got a little help from behind from the 00 machine of Justin Osborne, and Fred Hoffman had nowhere to go as they tangle up exiting turn 2 on the start. But Ross Kaiser was able to bring his car down to the attention of his crew. He is rejoining. Trevor Royer, Dakota Osborne, row 1, row 2, Tyler Radeball, Justin Osborne, and Dustin Glenn and Ross Kaiser. Fred Hoffman still in the pit lane for service. I don't think he's going to be able to rejoin in time. Fred is not going to be able to rejoin. Royer stands on the gas once again. Green flag goes back in the air. Here in the School of Sim Racing Heat Race number 5. What a dogfight for second. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Justin Osborne, Dakota Osborne, Tyler Radeball were 3 wide. And I'll tell you, Dakota and Justin closed right up to the tail tank of Trevor Royer, as they have not let him scoot away whatsoever. Tyler Radeball just clinging on to all 3 of those drivers. Side by side for 5th, Dustin Glenn and Ross Kaiser. Racing side by side, back up front. Our top 4 running practically nose to tail around the Eldora Speedway at these speeds. Royer, Dakota Osborne, Justin Osborne, and Tyler Radeball. Radeball is within striking distance, 5 laps down, 5 to go. He is close enough to make something happen here. Ross Kaiser brings that car into the pit area. Uh-oh, did something happen to Justin Osborne? No, he did blink out for a second, but he is back. Trevor Royer now opening up an advantage, almost 0.8 of a second. Over Dakota Osborne, Justin Osborne, and Tyler Radeball. Radeball has changed his lineup just a little bit, moved down a little bit lower than Justin Osborne, and he gets a good look out of turn 4, but Justin with the momentum on the high side. Looks like Tyler's going to slide up. Is he going to be able to clear him? Not yet. This time with a slider into turn 1, he does clear Justin Osborne, but Justin Osborne's going to turn it back underneath him. This is the white flag lap. Up front, Trevor Royer wins the heat. Dakota Osborne second, and at the line, Justin Osborne just noses ahead of Tyler Radeball for the final transfer. Dustin Glenn's going to be 5th, Ross Kaiser 6th, Fred Hoffman 7th. What a finish for the transfer here in the School of Sim Racing Heat Race number 5. Andrew's Birthday Bash Heat Race number 6. This is Andrew Reigel's birthday today, so everybody let him know happy birthday in the chat. He is the owner here at Reigel Promotions E-Sports that put this great event together. The starting lineup looks like this here. Richie Gaines, Connor New, row 1. Row 2, Andrew Allen and Caden Berry. Row 3, Donnie Battiest and Charles New. And row 4 is going to be Carson Kirby. Absolutely. I got a couple of great racings in the chat. I completely agree. It's been great. Last night for the Sovereign Showdown was fantastic racing. It's been great up to this point in our King's Clash main event. Tim, how about you bring us to the green flag to cap off our heat racing action tonight from the Eldora Speedway?
I would love to. Richie Gaines is going to be our leader. Connor New and Andrew Allen are all in the transfer spot as of right now. Caden Barry is on the outside. Richie Gaines is going to work his way through the last set of turns as he fires away. And also a great launch for Connor New. Was able to almost stay side by side. They're almost 4 wide, beating and banging off of each other. They're still making contact with each other. Caden Barry had a little bit of damage as he looks to the outside of that 43 machine and Andrew Allen. Big contact between Caden Barry and Carson Kirby.
That's going to bring out the yellow flag there. Carson Kirby, Caden Barry tangling out of turn 2. Caden Barry still on his lid. Let's go back and try to decipher this a little closer as we see the inner turn 1. You see just how close those 3 cars are already. As Barry was right up on the cushion. Kirby was a car below him, and Caden tried to come down a little bit. I think Carson was coming up a little bit, and they met in the middle. And that's when they made contact, it sent Caden's car up into the outside wall. Heavy, heavy damage. Car gets turned upside down, and he's going to have to tow into the pit area. And also come to the attention of his crew. Lights still on the pace truck for now. But the top 3, Richie Gaines, Connor New, Andrew Allen. Carson Kirby on the outside looking in. Donnie Battius there as well. Caution does kind of benefit Donnie Battius and Charles New as they tangled right on the initial start. There and kind of lost a little bit of time to the rest of the drivers. Lights are off on the pace truck though. Richie Gaines going to get to try the restart once again. Pace truck peels off. Richie fires. Green flag goes back in the air. Look at Andrew Allen going to follow Richie Gaines through on the inside. Connor New, oh my, tags the tail tank. He's going to drive it hard into turn 3 and throw a massive slider right up in front of Richie Gaines. Richie Gaines turns it back underneath him though into turn number 1 and regains the race lead as a couple cars maybe with contact into turn 1. Carson Kirby all the way down to the inside. He's going to let that car slide up almost in front of Andrew Allen, but not quite. But this is the battle for the top 3. And Kirby takes it for now, so move Kirby into the final transfer spot. And Andrew Allen not done yet. He's going to take a peek back to the inside. Kirby with the advantage around the top. Allen settles into 4th. Up front, Connor New, still the race leader. 6 laps down, 4 to go. That's Caden Barry up in front of our race leader, as he is still right at the tail end of the lead lap, running in 7th. Just 3 laps to go for Connor. Richie Gaines trying to hold on for 2nd. Carson Kirby doing the same in 3rd. 2 laps to go at the line this time for Andrew's Birthday Bash Heat Race number 6. pretty evenly spacing between cars 2, 3, and 4. White flag in the air, though, up front for Connor New. Out of turn 4, checkered flag waving. Connor New wins heat race number 6. Richie Gaines going to come home second. Third's going to go to Carson Kirby. Those 3 transfer directly into the feature. Andrew Allen, Charles New, Donnie Battius, and Caden Berry will have to battle up through the consolation races. Oh, excuse me, Caden Berry doesn't have to battle through the consolation races. I almost forgot he has a locked-in spot for the feature here tonight from his win at the Eldora Speedway back in May in the Spring Rush event that Reigel Promotions E-Sports put on. Josh Borowski as well, can't forget about him. He also locked in tonight. Those 2 drivers didn't have to worry about a thing. Now things get a little bit interesting, Tim, as we have a big warm-up session, but this is also going to be our consolation races as we go forward. Has race control let you know as of yet if we're going to start with a D main or a C main? Race control is taking a moment to explain to the drivers how this session is going to work. It is a little bit different here tonight for the King's Clash event. It's not going to be a typical consolation session. Like I said, everything's going to be inside of this warm-up session. So we're just waiting word for race control. While we wait, we're going to step aside and get a word from our sponsors here and tonight's sponsor, Premier Racing Setups. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back into the Buckeye Racing Network again. Thanks to Premier Racing Setups. If you're looking for a setup, don't look anywhere else. Go over there, check them out. Use code Buckeye15 for 15% off your next setup pack. Well, I think we have a little bit of something figured out here. Race control, getting these drivers all in line. I apologize since this is the first time we're experiencing it here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We got a pretty good field of drivers out here to start. Is this going to be the C main, Tim?
This is the C main.
Okay, so Josh Borowski. So we don't need a D main here tonight. That was going to be sponsored by Ross Company Design and Print Shop. Turn 2 photography.
No, this is the D main.
Okay.
I don't know. I heard a lot of yapping over the radio.
Okay.
I believe this is the D main, and we are taking 2 out of the D main. We're going to take 4 out of the C and 4 out of the B. But I do believe this is the D main. And also, Caden Barry has a guaranteed spot in the feature.
Yep, Caden Barry. So doesn't Josh Borowski. That's on the front row of this Ross Company Design and Print Shop D main. This is going to be 10 laps the distance. I know there's no leaderboard on the side of the screen, because if I had it up, it wouldn't do us any justice. My goodness, they are clanging and banging back there as cars scattering left and right. One goes down, hits the inside wall. I'm not sure who that is. Robert Puckett goes for a spin into turn 3. Matthew, oh my goodness. Craziness happening down into turn 1 to start tonight's D main. Are we still under green flag? I believe we are.
They're calling yellow now. They're calling yellow. And also, can we just take a look at that Caden Barry machine? He's already worked his way up to, I believe he's going to start 4th. I believe everyone in front of Charles New is wrecked.
Okay. Ross Kaiser up in the top. Now, how many will advance from tonight's D main into the C main?
I'm not sure. I think it might be, that might be how he worded it here, is 2 out of the D. It says 2 out of the D main, 4 out of the C, and 4 out of the B. So I don't know if it's just working its way up or if they're just going straight to the feature.
Okay, I would imagine, like anywhere else, it's going to work its way up. Again, I know it's a bit confusing here on the broadcast, but if I put up the timing and scoring, it's just going to show the quickest lap time of the session, so that doesn't do us any justice here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We're going to try to keep you updated with the top couple of cars as we progress through the rest of this D main. So I believe we're working, this is going to be lap 2, maybe 3.
Yes, this is lap 2. We completed 2. I believe this will be lap 3 when we start. And it's going to be next lap. Ten laps are remaining.
Still 10 laps to go here in our Ross Company Design and Print Shop D main. Charles New up front, Josh Borowski in second, Ross Kaiser in third, Caden Barry in 4th. Charles New brings us back to the green flag. Single file restart to start lap number 3. See Josh Borowski, Ross Kaiser side by side. Caden Barry make it 3 wide for second. Caden Barry slides up to in front of Ross and Josh Borowski, make it a 2 for 1 through 3 and 4 the last time around. Caden Barry sets his sights forward on Ross Kaiser. I believe Borowski and Kaiser still side by side for third. Now Kaiser solo third, Borowski back to 4th. 5th, I believe, is going to be Dustin Glenn. 6th to Tyler Bickford. But up front, Caden Barry has caught race leader Dustin Glenn. He's going to look to the inside, slide up in front of Glenn out of turn 2, and take the lead. Ross Kaiser, though, hot on Caden Barry's tail take, but Caden Barry makes a little bit of contact with the outside wall as this is the battle for the lead here in tonight's D main.
That was just the halfway point.
Halfway, I think that was Robert Puckett down on the inside. He had to tow that car into the pit lane. We're still going to stay green. Barry, Glenn, Kaiser, the top three. Fourth, I'm trying to see who that is. Oh, excuse me, that's actually Charles New that's in the top three. And Dustin Glenn is the driver currently running in the fourth position. Barry still leads the way. Charles New, Ross Kaiser battling hard for the second position.
These guys are all the way up against the wall. You can't fit a sheet of paper in between them and the wall.
No, you cannot.
Oh, contact with Matthew Croak and Dustin Glenn. They keep it straight.
And this is the battle for the transfer here in fourth, correct?
I believe so.
Oh, one car slow into the outside wall. That was Josh Borowski at the top of the screen. Back up front, Caden Berry takes the checkered flag that time. Ross Kaiser going to be second. Charles New will be third, and I believe Dustin Glenn was able to hold on for fourth as he gets a little shot from Matthew Croakey down the back straightaway. That time, that's going to conclude our D main here tonight. Drivers going to be lining up for our turn 2 photography C main. It's going to be 12 laps the distance.
They only took 2 out of the D main. I am sorry. It's 4 out of the C and 4 out of the B.
Okay, so that being said, it would be Ross Kaiser and Caden Berry, but Caden Berry already has a guaranteed starting spot in tonight's feature event, as all of the drivers for our B main head out onto the racetrack, or excuse me, for our C main head out onto the racetrack now. Thanks to Turn 2 Photography for sponsoring our C main here tonight. Well, if that's the case, Matthew Croakey did not make it into the C main, correct? He finished in fourth.
I believe because Caden Berry
and Josh Borowski were part of that?
Yeah, I believe because Caden won the race, they added 2. Oh boy.
What are you hearing over race radio now?
They're just getting the lineup correct here. I was just looking and a couple guys almost made contact. Okay, so 15 laps, top 4 transfer. That was from race control.
Oh, so that was the last race was the C main.
Well, they possibly could have been.
Okay. Sorry again, folks, for the confusion. As we're trying to look at our sheets here, and if it's 15 laps, it sounds like this is going to be the admin box B main. 15 laps the distance. And it should be the top 4 into tonight's feature event. Dean Reynolds leading the way. He's going to bring us to the green flag. Great start down into turn number 1. Landon Menenga. Oh my goodness, cars tangling up and crashing at the back of the field. Austin Hickman. Car 43, Andrew Allen, Caden Berry got a piece of that as well. But back up front, we're going to remain green for now. No, yellow flag is going to be displayed here for these drivers. As Andrew Allen tries to get into the pit lane, and he's backing up right in front of the field as almost catastrophe. They're out of turn 4. Thank you. They're saying as well in the chat that this should be the admin box B main, so the last race was the Turn 2 Photography C main. We did negate the Ross Company Design and Print Shop D main tonight, but still thanks to their sponsorship. So admin box B main, and we got at least a lap or two under our belt here for our B main. Dean Reynolds, Landon Menenga. Folks, I guess I don't really ever realize how hard it is to call a race without any timing and scoring. That's not that I don't have some timing and scoring, but not when you don't have an active lineup to view from and to remember the drivers' names and car numbers. It is a new challenge for us here tonight on the Buckeye Racing Network, but it's been an awesome event to be part of, and Dylan, the top 4 finishers of this admin box B main will make it into our 40-lap Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash feature. Richie Gaines, 3PG is third-party gaming. They are a community on Discord that puts together a bunch of events, and they have some house drivers running for them in tonight's events here at the Eldora Speedway. Dean Reynolds is going to fire once again, bring us back to the green flag, and a good start for him once again into turn 1. Right behind him, that Scar 51, Tyler Radaball, looking to the inside into turn 3 underneath the 48 machine, which that's Nathaniel Wimhoff. As he slides back into 4th, Ty Williams coming with a head of steam out of turn 2 into turn 3, move him into the top 4 as Landon Menenga and Tyler Radaball battle for second down the front straightaway this time. Oh, Ty Williams and the 48 machine tangle up together back there. That was Nathaniel Wimhoff. I think most of them was able to get back going, so we're going to try to remain green flag racing as Dean Reynolds still leads the way, but he has company as I say that. The yellow flag is displayed once again. Dean Reynolds, Landon Menenga, 1st and 2nd. 3rd is going to be Tyler Radaball in the 51. 4th, looks like Ross Kaiser has made his way into the top 4. On the outside looking in, that's Chase Porter there in 5th place in that number 21 machine. 6th, that's going to be Dustin Glenn I keep getting those drivers mixed up. That is going to be Charles New in the 21. Behind him, Ty Williams. And then behind that, Corey Bodno. Behind Corey's going to be Caden Berry, Stephen Light. Austin Hickman's back there as well. I don't know, Tim, have we made it to the halfway point here in the B main?
I will see right now. $11 laps remaining. 4 complete, 11 laps remaining.
All right, so still a long way to go here in the B main. A lot can happen with 11 laps to go. Dean Reynolds is going to look to get another great restart here. He fires. Landon Menenga is going to follow him down into turn 1. Tyler Radaball looks to take advantage of Landon Meninga. Slides across his nose, but Landon's going to turn back underneath of him down the back straightaway and go back up into second. But Landon makes contact with the outside wall. That's going to allow Roz Kaiser, Chase Porter to close in. Radaball with a big move into turn 1. He's going to slide up in front of Meninga. Well, Meninga with a crossover move down the back straightaway into turn 3. Ross Kaiser, Chase Porter making contact just behind them. Caden Berry all the way down to the inside with a big run into turn 1. Slides up across the nose of all of them. He's up into the 5th place position. Ty Williams also making a big move down the inside there as well. And back up front, Dean Reynolds still leads the way. Landon Meninga is going to be second. Ross Kaiser, Chase Porter tangled up once again. Going to see exactly what happened. Ty Williams stopped exiting turn number 4. Let's see if he gets back going. We're still green for now. No, yellow flag is out as Ty Williams was stopped exiting turn 4. So still our top 4, Dean Reynolds, Landon Meninga, Ross Kaiser, and Tyler Radaball would make it into the show here tonight. As I think we are under our 3rd caution period here in our B main. Dean Reynolds still leads the way. I believe Race Control is trying to let each and every car stop into the pit area if possible for any repair that's needed. Allow them to get back on the track to battle to finish out the rest of our admin box B main session. Reynolds, Meninga, Kaiser, Radaball, your top 4 in a transfer spot. Reynolds moves down just a little lower here on the racetrack. He fires. Green flag back in the air for our B main. Chase Porter making a big move to the inside there through turn 1 and 2.
Ross Kaiser all the way to the lead.
Yeah, Kaiser, he surpasses Dean Reynolds and Landon Meninga. Kaiser to the race lead as he takes no prisoners. Battle is on for second. Landon Meninga, Dean Reynolds side by side entering turn 1. Meninga with the run on the outside. Reynolds going to slot into 3rd for now. Chase Porter 4th. Caden Berry 5th. Berry all the way up on the cushion through 3 and 4. Berry with a big run into turn 3. He's going to slide up in front of Porter and Reynolds, but his momentum stalls out, and both Porter and Reynolds able to work their way around him into turn 3. Meninga's trying to scoot away from this battle as Dean Reynolds, Chase Porter tangle up entering turn 1, and everybody is going to gather it back up, and we're going to remain under the green flag. So Ross Kaiser, Landon Meninga, Caden Berry, your top 3.
That was the 2 to go signal.
Matthew Croakey into 4th in that final transfer spot. Here, white flag now this time for Ross Kaiser.
We're going to have a slow car in the middle of 3 and 4 as he works his way into the pits.
Ross Kaiser to the checkered flag. He wins the B main. Caden Berry's going to be 2nd. Landon Meninga 3rd. And I believe Matthew Croakey, did he come home in 4th? As I don't see his name out here, but I believe he did. Yes, he did come home.
Matthew Croak did make it in. But because Caden Barry finished in the top 4, I believe, there are only going to be 23 positions.
Okay, so 23 starters here tonight. That should wrap up our preliminary action. We'll see if the admins choose to do a little bit of warm-up here before we get the main event underway. 40 laps to distance, $200 to win, and $20 to start our Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash feature event. As we'll wait to hear anything from race control.
They're in the process of doing the redraw. The track is currently closed.
All right, the redraw is happening right now. We'll wait to see how these drivers in the top, I believe that'd be the top 12, get to line up to start our feature event, as I believe they've just opened the track because drivers are heading out to start warming up a bit. I know some of these drivers that haven't ran since their heat race, this is going to be a good time for them to get their feet wet once again and see how the track has changed since the heat racing action. I want to just again thank all the sponsors for being part of this. And that redraw was sponsored by Hornix Graphics Shop, as well as this warm-up session here tonight. So big shout out to them for sponsoring tonight's redraw and warm-up session. I'll tell you, Tim, what an event this has been so far.
Oh my.
And there's some chaos going on out on the racetrack in our warm-up. That's just to be expected. These drivers are just trying different things out, seeing what does and doesn't work, and this is the time to do it if you're a driver. I'll tell you, we are really in for a treat here as we got 40 long laps around the Eldora Speedway. We're going to at least get you a grid here. It's going to be a little bit different due to the redraw, but this is going to be all the drivers that are going to start our Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash. Jack Anderson, Kenny Hoffman, Matt Grimm, Bradley Cox, Trevor Royer, Connor New, Jason Randolph, Bowen Smith, Joey Hintz, Aiden Price, Dakota Osborne, Richie Gaines. That's the first 7 rows, or excuse me, the first 6 rows. Row 7, Ryan Hodge, Stephen Metcalf, Spencer Putney, Michael Sherving, Justin Osborne, Carson Kirby, Dean Reynolds, Nathaniel Wimhoff, Landon Menenga, Ty Williams, Tyler Radaball, Andrew Allen. And I believe this is going to go through the rest of the field, but not all of these drivers are going to make it in. As I believe the cutoff is around Tyler Radaball area for our starters here tonight. See 40 laps up on the screen now. Right Rear Racing, thank you once again for being a part of the King's Clash events, especially being the title sponsor last night. Heat Race 3 sponsor both nights. And can't forget the Caution/Replay sponsor. So, again, thanks to you over at Right Rear Racing. After the redraw, row 1 is going to be Dakota Osborne, Bowen Smith, Jason Randolph, Joey Hintz, row 2. Matt Grimm, Connor New, row 3. Kenny Hoffman, Bradley Cox, row 4. Richie Gaines, Jack Anderson, row 5. Aiden Price, Trevor Royer, row 6. Ryan Hodge, Michael Sherring, row 7. Spencer Putney, and I guess that is Ryan, or Michael Sherring there. Stephen Metcalf was in row 7. That was row 8. Carson Kirby, Justin Osborne, back here, row 9. Caden Berry, Ross Kaiser. Chase Porter, Landon Menenga, Matthew Croakey, and Josh Borowski rounds out the field of 24 here tonight. $200 to the winner. You can't mean to tell me that doesn't get these drivers excited. We haven't went green flag yet. One of the best sights in all of motorsports. A 4-wide salute. As a salute to all of the fans out there tonight. Four by four, 24 cars deep.
Yeah, I would say let's just throw the green flag right now.
I'll tell you what, it sure would provide for an interesting start to the race, going 4 abreast into turn 1 here at the Eldora Speedway. A couple of drivers to keep our eyes on at the back. Ross Kaiser, Caden Berry, they've had speed all night tonight. Trevor Royer starting in the middle of the pack here as well. So a couple of names to keep our eye on. Here as the night progresses. Lights are out on the pace truck. 40 long laps. Everybody, let's sit back and enjoy what we are about to witness here to begin the King's Clash. Pace truck off this time. Or no, excuse me, not off this time. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself as
it is now the 1 to go.
1 to go signal this time. As I'm getting all amped up to get this feature event underway. Pace truck will pill off this time. Go to Osborne in command. Green flag goes in the air. We are going to rock and roll for 40 laps around the Eldora Speedway for $200 to win. 2 and 3 wide racing. Fireworks going off down the back straightaway. Tires getting bumped there. I think Trevor Royer tapped tires with somebody. Uh-oh, the zero machine. Justin Osborne. He goes around. Yellow flag being displayed after 1 lap. We'll go back and see exactly what happened. I think Justin Osborne, Spencer Putney got tangled up together. You see Osborne all the way down near the inside wall. There was Trevor Royer who tapped a car coming out of turn 2. Justin Osborne You see him all the way down near the inside wall. I wonder if he makes contact with the wall. No, the line he was running just got closed up from the 17 of Spencer Putney. Coming down just a little bit, those two cars tangle together and go around. Spencer Putney goes up and over in that 17 machine. You see Landon Menenga work his way around the outside, and the rest of the field, Josh Borowski trying to avoid that mess, and he does. Again, thank you to Right Rear Racing for sponsoring tonight's replays. As hopefully everybody will be able to continue. See Justin Osborne in the pit lane. Austin Hickman working his way into the pit lane there as well. Uh-oh, whoa. The 14 car, I'm not sure what's going on. But Joey Hintz might be having some connection issues as some cars he did disappear as well. So hopefully nobody got any terminal damage from that, but that was just weird to see that car drive through the leaders.
Oh, I think Bowen Smith has got a hurt car.
Yeah, Bowen Smith left front damage on his machine. That's very unfortunate. As he has rejoined, but at the tail of the group. Currently in 22nd, Joey Hintz in 23rd. Not shown as connected into the session anymore. Pace truck is off though. We are going to come back to green flag racing here. Dakota Osborne leads us into turn one. Look at Jack Anderson down on the inside. Jack Anderson to the race lead into turn three with a power move on the inside. He leads lap number 3. Dakota Osborne now, look at who's showing his face into P3, Matt Grimm. Matt Grimm now trying to fend off Jason Randolph on the inside as the yellow flag is displayed once again. Let's see exactly what happened. This is a little further back. Richie Gaines, Josh Borowski kind of getting tied up. And Richie Gaines might have some right front damage there. And his car was just slow through 3 and 4. Let's see, he brings that car to a stop right in the middle of the racetrack here as our leaders were coming hot and heavy into turn 3. As he was just trying to get that car, I think, into the pit area, and does after he brought it to a stop, though. So race control deciding to put the yellow flag out. But new race leader, Jack Anderson, with the power move there, Tim, on the inside entering turn 3.
Yes, indeed, a power move. We're going to have to see if that move can be used later on in this 40-lap race.
Yeah, absolutely. Pace lights go off on the pace truck. Jack Anderson, Dakota Osborne, row 1, Matt Grimm, or excuse me, that'd be Jason Randolph, Matt Grimm, row 2. Caden Berry back there in row 7, Ross Kaiser in row 11. That's an update on those two drivers. As it looks like the number 1 machine of Aiden Price makes his way into the pit area. As now the lights are out on the pace truck, and I don't know who that was that just went in front of the leaders. Kind of look like the 14 machine once again. But Jack Anderson fires back under green. He's going to work the inside. Dakota Osborne up near the fence. Jason Randolph through the middle. And who is that in car 11? That would be Kenny Hoffman. He makes the same power move Jack Anderson did into turn 3. He's all the way up into second. Dakota Osborne takes a peek to his inside for a moment. Matt Grimm also looking to take advantage of this situation as well. Bradley Cox following close by there in 5th. Connor New in 6th. Trevor Royer in 7th. Jason Randolph 8th. Caden Berry working the inside. Now up to 9th.
4 wide for 11.
Yeah, 3 and 4 wide just behind him. Justin Osborne, Carson Kirby a part of it. Matthew Croker trying to be there as well. Back up front, Jack Anderson all the way down on the inside, making up good time down there. Kenny Hoffman following him close behind. 8 laps complete now. Our top 2 starting to stretch the gap as Bradley Cox moves his way into P3. Uh-oh, we got one sideways. Trying to see who that is. Connor New.
And another one sideways as well in the middle of 3 and 4.
I think the yellow flag came out due to Connor New, but we'll take a look at both accidents. Connor New was working the inside part of the racetrack. He just touches the wheel of Trevor Royer, and that sends his machine spinning sideways down the back straightaway. And he didn't have any other issues after that, just spun to a stop. Michael Schuring must have been the driver you're talking about, Tim, that spun getting into turn 3.
Yeah, he had a little bit of help from behind.
Yep. Michael Schuring got a little help from behind from Ross Kaiser there in the 83 machine that got him spun around. But it looks like everybody was able to work around him as we were coming to the yellow flag anyways. Jack Anderson, Kenny Hoffman, Bradley Cox now into position 3, Matt Grimm in 4th, then Dakota Osborne has fallen back to 5th, Trevor Royer into 6th, I believe Caden Berry is going to be 7th, Ryan Hodge will be 8th, Michael Sherwin got his position back there in 9th, followed by Justin Osborne and Ross Kaiser 10th and 11th. Carson Kirby 12th, Matthew Croker 13th, Spencer Putney in the 14th position, Stephen Metcalf 15th, Landon Menenga 16th, Richie Gaines 17th, Aiden Price in 17th, Josh Borowski 19th, Connor New in 20th, Jason Randolph in the 21st spot. It looks like a couple cars have called it a night. Bowen Smith, Joey Hintz in that group. Joey Hintz with connection issues. Pace truck peels off. Jack Anderson fires away once again to the green flag. He leads him out of turn 2. Kenny Hoffman following close behindly there in 2nd. Bradley Cox looking to the inside of Kenny Hoffman. Matt Grimm with a power move around the outside. Caden Berry with a power move on the inside. Berry up into the 5th spot.
He restarted 8th and he's already all wound up trying to make a pass for 3rd.
Yeah, as Caden Berry looks to the inside of Matt Grimm, who works around the outside. Berry making up the ground on the inside as we speak, but Kenny Hoffman is doing the same thing. He now takes over the race lead from Jack Anderson. Jack Anderson fights hard back to the inside.
Checkup.
Yeah, they kind of all check up there getting into turn 3 from the slide job maneuver. Hoffman, Anderson, Grimm, Berry,
Wow.
4 wide for the race lead, getting into turn 1 to start lap 14. 4, almost 5 wide with Bradley Cox down on the inside. What an amazing battle. Jack Anderson, Matt Grimm touch wheels. Both cars able to continue going. Jack Anderson, though, back to 10th, though, after that. But look on the outside who it is. Caden Berry to the race lead as he worked around the outside of Kenny Hoffman. Bradley Cox working the inside. Trevor Royer has made up a lot of spots as well. Berry, Hoffman's nose to tail. Hoffman looks to the inside. He slides that car right up across the nose of Caden Berry. Bradley Cox looking to make it a 3-car battle down the front straightaway, almost 3 wide. 3 wide for the race lead down the back straightaway. Hoffman into the race lead for now. Berry's going to turn it back underneath of him, and Bradley Cox on the inside still 3 wide for the race lead. Trevor Royer, he's caught the tail tank of Kenny Hoffman. He moves around the outside of Caden Berry for now. Bradley Cox still battling hard on the inside. Berry back to 4th. Matt Grimm has settled for now in 5th. Go to Osborne in 6th. But back up front, Trevor Royer coming with a head of steam. He takes a peek to the inside of Kenny Hoffman. As those 3 run on the top, Bradley Cox, Caden Berry, and I believe that's Ryan Hodge also ran the inside that time through 3 and 4. Look who's right behind Ryan Hodge, though. That's Ross Kaiser. Ross Kaiser moves up a spot into P7. He's going to try to get up and challenge to go to Osborne now for 6. Up front, leader's going to be in some lap traffic. Stephen Metcalf is just in front of them. Kenny Hoffman, Trevor Royer, Matt Grimm, 1, 2, 3 on the outside. Caden Berry, Bradley Cox on the inside as Berry was able to work his way around Bradley.
I believe Bradley tapped the inside wall. He kind of shot up the track a little bit.
Look at the leaders having to slice their way through the lap machine of Stephen Metcalf. Hoffman's already around. Matt Grimm, Trevor Royer had to work their way slowly around Stephen. Caden Berry on the inside is going to look to take advantage of Stephen as well, as I believe Berry is going to be clear of Stephen this time into turn 3 and is. Hoffman just making some contact with the outside wall. Trevor Royer with a great run into turn 1. Big slide job across the nose to the race lead for a moment. Hoffman turns it back underneath of him. As the yellow flag gets displayed. Yellow, yellow, yellow. I believe we had kind of a big crash, and it involved the lap machine of Stephen Metcalf. Metcalf was running the outside. Bradley Cox narrowly missed him. Ross Kaiser made pretty good contact with him as they crossed the start-finish line down the front straightaway. Kaiser popped a little bit of a wheel stand getting into turn 1. You see Jack Anderson in the 7 machine work by on the inside. Number 1 machine of Aiden Price as well. Ryan Hodge made contact with the outside wall, and that car spun around. And he spun around right in front of, as he got straightened out of the 10 machine of Connor New. So heavy damage but for Connor New and Ryan Hodge here in this latest caution. Shoo! As we get just a quick moment to catch our breath, folks, what do you think about the 3 and 4 wide battling we have seen up front from the leaders each and every lap? It seems like we've had 3 and 4 wide, we've had slide jobs, we've had crossover moves, we've seen it all. In the first 25 laps, there's still 15 more laps to go.
Tell you what, I'm glad I'm calling this race, and I'm glad I'm not in a car right now.
You ain't kidding. 19 car still on the lead lap. Josh Borowski back there in the last car on the lead lap. As the pace truck is off, Kenny Hoffman brings us back to the green flag. Just 15 laps to go. Matt Grimm looks to take advantage on the inside. Bradley Cox makes contact with the inside wall, and he stacks up the field big. 2, 3, 4 cars spinning around, and that's going to bring out our 5th caution flag of the night. As you see the field storm off here into turn 1, this is a look at the replay, as it is 3 and 4 wide back here. You see Cox that hit the inside wall. He's just trying to get some momentum in that race car. Jack Anderson, Stephen Putney get together. That sends Anderson around. Landon Menenga nowhere to go. Big heavy contact. The 07 machine there with some contact as well. Borowski taking evasive maneuvers. Austin Hickman nowhere to go. He makes contact with Menenga. So at least 5 or 6 cars with some damage here in this 5th caution period. As it looks like the lights are out on the pace truck. Back-to-back yellow flags before completing a full green flag lap means this caution, or this restart, excuse me, is going to be single file. Kenny Hoffman, Trevor Royer, Matt Grimm, Caden Berry, Ross Kaiser. Your top 5. Into the restart zone, Hoffman fires, green flag back in the air. He leads them down through turns 1 and 2. Everybody just trying to get some momentum up to see if they can make a late race charge. Royer's going to take a peek to the inside. He's going to continue to ride in second for now. Matt Grimm here in third. Caden Berry 4th. Ross Kaiser 5th. Go to Osborne 6th. Justin Osborne 7th. Side by side, Aiden Pride chasing Randolph for 7th. Price, big contact with Randolph as he is slow and everybody tries to work around him. Metcalf and Putney did make some contact, but everybody's still going straight for now. Hoffman, Royer, Grimm, Berry, your top 4. Kaiser into 5th. It is just crazy. Everybody running the top line. Royer's going to look to the inside. Big slider incoming into 3, but Hoffman with the momentum. Crossover down the front straightaway and regains the race lead for now. So Royer got a sniff of it for just a second. Royer to the inside. Hoffman into the middle. Grimm up on the cushion. Grimm with a good run out of turn number 4. He closed right up to the tail tank of Trevor Royer. Caden Berry says, you know what, I'm going to try the inside once again to see if I can make up some ground down there. As he did that, that allowed Ross Kaiser to close up to his tail tank as the yellow flag gets displayed for the 6th time.
Wow.
Take a look at exactly what happened here to the 2 machine of Matthew Croakey. He just slid up in front of the 70 machine. The 70 machine gave him the boot. Spins Matthew on around. Here he did a complete 360. Was able to continue going, but that was enough for the admins to go ahead and throw the yellow flag out. Just 8 laps to go and $200 on the line for the race winner. Everybody that started this feature event is at least going to get their money back here tonight. Kenny Hoffman, Trevor Royer, Matt Grimm, Caden Berry, Justin Osborne, Dakota Osborne. Back there, any one of the drivers here in the top 6 has a shot. Green flag back in the air, across the line, just 8 laps to go. Time is running out for the drivers behind Kenny Hoffman. They got to make something happen in a hurry here. Royer, Grimm, Berry, all up on the cushion here in the closing laps. Equal spacing between our top 4. Everybody's now got their momentum up. They're going to be trying everything they can to get to the tail tank of Kenny Hoffman. You see a couple of these drivers already move their wings back to get some grip in these race cars.
5 laps to go. It's crunch time. Who's going to be making the move up?
Look at Royer on the inside. Big time slide job to the lead for a moment. Kenny Hoffman was able to cross him over, getting into turn 1. Hoffman just touched the outside wall. Grimm is able to close right in. There in third. Grimm's going to take the outside, Royer the middle. Hoffman down low. Yellow flag being displayed for the 7th time. I believe it happened in the neighborhood of Carson Kirby. Let's see exactly what happened. Carson Kirby was working the inside, and it happened in front of him, it looks like, as a couple cars were already tangled together. Bradley Cox, Justin Osborne, the 70 just got there a little bit later, and Carson Kirby trying to work his way around, tagged the 70 machine. The 07 makes pretty big contact with them. Austin Hickman nowhere to go, trying to get that car woed up. So 4 cars tangled together in a mess, exiting turn number 2. For the final couple of laps, does anybody have anything for Kenny Hoffman? As the drivers get the 1 to go signal this time. Hoffman restarts us. Royer, Grimm, Berry, your top 4. Bradley Cox looking to throw his hat into the mix there. Ross Kaiser all the way down on the inside, trying to make up a little bit of ground there as well. Caden Berry with a big-time slider on Matt Grimm for 3rd, but Matt Grimm was able to cross him over down the front straightaway. Royer is going to try everything he can. He's going to look way down to the inside. He's going to slide up. Nothing doing this time. White flag goes in the air for Kenny Hoffman. Royer's maybe going to get one more shot at it, but he's got to get a great run out of turn 2 and into turn 3. Hoffman going to shut the door on him entering turn 3 and slide up the track. Kenny Hoffman is going to win tonight's Premier Racing Setups Kings Clash. $200 richer for Kenny tonight. Trevor Royer Going to bring that machine home in second. An awesome run for him. Matt Grimm will be third. We're going to get to talk to our top three here in just a moment after we look at our final results. Here, our top three is going to park it, I believe, on the front straightaway for a picture. Then we'll go over the final race results here of our feature drivers. We talked about our top three. Caden Berry comes home in fourth. Ross Kaiser fifth. Bradley Cox sixth. Dakota Osborne seventh. Matthew Croakey eighth. Jack Anderson ninth. Justin Osborne 10th. Josh Borowski 11th. Landon Menenga 12th. Richie Gaines 13th. Austin Hickman 14th. Stephen Metcalf in 15th. Carson Kirby 16th. Jason Randolph 17th. And Michael Schuring in 18th. 19th is going to go to Spencer Putney, 20th to Aiden Price, 21st to Connor New, 22nd to Ryan Hodge, and 23rd to Bowen Smith. And that was our feature starters here tonight. Without further ado, we're going to get to talk to our top three. We're going to try to start off here with Matt Grimm. Hey, Matt, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, man. An awesome showing here for you in the King's Clash event. You had a really pretty good night here tonight with the pill draw and your hot laps and your heat race, and that netted you a good starting position here in our feature. You were able to bring that car home in third. In the closing laps there, you top 4 or 5 were all running so close together. Did you have anything or could have done anything different to try to gain 2 more positions here tonight?
Yeah, I think if that last caution didn't come out, it was going to be interesting because I was just about to make a move on Royer. I don't know what would have happened of it, but I was at least going to try something. And then once that restart came out, I knew Barry was going to throw it in there, and then I was going to have to check up, and we were going to lose touch with first and second. So still, top three is a really good run, and I wasn't really expecting to do that well. I've been kind of slacking here lately.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great run for you, and you get to take home some extra money here tonight, so you can't go wrong with that. Tim, do you have anything to ask Matt?
Yeah. Well, let's start with a few questions. What did you need? Well, obviously you didn't need that, but you didn't need the yellow. But even if there was the yellow and Caden did not throw it in there as you said, do you think you still could have had a shot at possibly finishing second or the win with the way everything played out? And how much of a blast was it for you tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of I needed to move my wing back, but I was scared because I was running so close to the wall. I didn't want to mess with too much and end up getting into the wall and losing third. So I probably could have moved the wing back one right there and been up there racing with them after that. But I don't know. I was kind of content with just hanging on and surviving. It's been a rough go of it and used some good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, coming home third tonight. Before we let you go, Matt, who would you like to thank?
Well, thanks to all the guys for at Lightning Motorsports for bringing me on. M9 Racing Performance, 469 Designs, everybody who shows up and races with Lightning and helps out and gives helpful advice. You guys for doing the broadcast, Andrew and Ben for putting this on, and everyone who watched.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations coming home third here tonight. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you guys.
All right, now we'll move on and talk to our second place finisher, Mr. Trevor Royer. Hey, Trevor, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. A fantastic run for you here tonight in the King's Clash. Had to start mid-pack, though, in the feature, and you had to work your way up, and you did that pretty methodically, and then you get up front and having a battle. Kenny Hoffman, Matt Grimm, Caden Berry there in the closing laps was an awesome battle to witness. Was there anything you had left for Kenny Hoffman there on that final run to the finish?
Yeah. Let me start by saying that was a blast racing against Kenny there for the win. Congrats to him on the win. He did everything right. I feel like the yellows there, a couple yellows at the end, were doing him a favor. There was a couple times we were stuck in a slide job battle, and he had happened to cross the line first on the lap that the yellow came out, so it gave him the lead. And then it took me about a lap or two to get back to him. I felt like I was a little better than him, honestly, those last 10 laps when we were first and second, but um, he ran a real good defensive race. Every time I had him slid him, he crossed me over and was able to get the lead back. So yeah, maybe if those yellows didn't come out, I would have been able to clear him. But I can't complain. This was a stacked field, and getting the redraw that I had last night and tonight. I drew the 6 yesterday and an 11 tonight. So 11th to second, walking away with some money too. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly can't complain with that. Tim, do you have anything to ask Trevor?
Yeah, was tire wear at all playing a factor in tonight's race? And was there anything that you could have done differently to conserve that tire?
Yeah, it crosses my mind early on, especially early on when I seen there was quite a few people running the bottom in 1 and 2, and I was committed to just running the top. I figured it would come back, so I just um, I still had a little bit of wing to give in case I needed to, unless I got a little more loose. Um, and I was kind of just going off of that. I figured tire like 40 laps. I knew tire wear was gonna be a factor. I don't think it hurt me running the top all 40. Like I said, I still had a couple clicks in my wing. I could have went back further if I needed. And honestly, I felt like I had pace to win that thing. Just didn't fall my way.
Absolutely, but you had a great battle there in the closing laps. Before we let you go, Trevor, who would you like to thank?
First off, I want to again congratulate Kenny Hoffman on the win. Matt Grimm on third. Um, my team, Black Diamond Motorsports, Ultimate Dirt TV, 19 Designs, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. Ben and Andrew for putting this deal on. It's been a while since um, the sprint car scene was able to raise for some money, so it's cool to see them putting money in some drivers' pockets. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks everybody for watching too.
Absolutely. We certainly appreciate the kind words, and we'll let you celebrate your second place finish.
Thank you guys.
All right, now we'll talk to our Kings Clash winner, Mr. Kenny Hoffman. Hey, Kenny, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
All right, man. Well, you bring that car home in first tonight, $200 richer. Ran an awesome feature event, had to hold Trevor Royer, Matt Grimm at bay in the closing laps. Tell us how you were able to do it.
No idea. Consistency, I would say. The redraw, I didn't want to start that far back, to be honest. And unfortunately, a car who got out to the early lead found a different line. I followed him, and it just shot me right to the lead. And, once we got to the lead, I just knew if I just ran smooth, consistent laps, it would be pretty hard to beat. And thought I was doing well. Then Trevor Royer just started sliding me out of nowhere, and I was like, oh boy. So, just I had decided to change up my line there in 3 and 4. I kind of started running like little sliders, and I even changed it up in 1 and 2 just a tad, which I think helped me. I'll have to watch it back, but It's definitely just a crazy race. That last restart with 3 to go, I did not know what to expect going in the first corner. I didn't get the best restart. My tires kind of spun a little bit, and that's something you certainly don't want to do. So I was a little worried, but just huge shout out to Trevor Royer. He never fails of running a clean, smooth race with one another. Me and him have had so many good battles with each other through other leagues, and he's just fun guy to race around. So appreciate him for running me clean and not getting into me once.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, do you have anything to ask Kenny?
Yeah, you started seventh. I know you went over what lines you were using to get up there, but how difficult was it to set up the pass, and uh, what was the track like late in the race compared to what it was early on?
Um, yeah, early on, it for for how much racing was on the track early on, it kind of wore in. I felt like at the perfect state. Last night when you guys interviewed me, I was saying about how Eldora on the most recent iRacing updates, there's been more lines to come in, and tonight I felt like more people were running more lines. Like I said, I got when I saw Johnny or Jack Anderson get to the front, I was looking at him and he was running the bottom. He hit it on the restart, so that just opened my eyes up, and I was like, okay, I guess this is gonna work. And he decided to leave it, and he started to struggle a little bit there. So I was running. I felt like I was running pretty smooth in the bottom, and the car just gripped up, and I was able to just power by Johnny and be able to slide him. Fend off one of his haymakers that probably shouldn't have been thrown. And toward the end of the race, the track it was pretty much completely blown off. Definitely way worse than it was yesterday. The slickness in 3 and 4, which I think was hurting Trevor on the sliders off the corner, it was getting really Tetris and slick to the fence. And I think when he was throwing those sliders, it was kind of slowing him down just a tad. And the times that he did clear me, I was able to drive underneath him and retain my spot. Um, that's what I was a little cautious about as well, just running the slider line. So I didn't want to run as deep as he was. I kind of shortened it up a little bit so I can still have enough power to power off the corner. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. Awesome run for you here tonight. Our Kings Clash winner. Before we let you go, who would you like to thank?
of course, I got to thank my Nitro Circus Sim Racing team. Like I said last night, these guys took a shot on some dirt oval guys and brand new to the program, and they're champions on dirt road. So they're like I said, brand new. So thanks to them for taking a shot on myself, Ross, um, and all of our sponsors. Nitro Circus, Racecraft Academy, Next Level Racing, Apex Gaming, JRB Designs, M9 Performance, Victory Fuel as well is on board with us. And like I said last night to you guys, thank you for broadcasting this for us. It was a fun 2 nights, and thank you to the admins for doing all the hard work to get this event in. Appreciate them coming out and inviting me to be able to race this event. So yeah,
All right. Absolutely. Congratulations once again, Kenny. Let's celebrate that win.
thank you, appreciate it.
All right, folks. That's going to wrap it up. Some closing thoughts from you tonight, Tim?
Just wow, what an amazing race. Just you couldn't ask for much better of a race, I feel like.
No, very, very good racing. We saw 3 and 4 wide action up front there during the feature. Awesome to be a part of. Again, shout out all the sponsors, Reigel Promotions E-Sports, for putting this event on. And the list goes on there. All the drivers that was a part of the event last night and tonight, all the fans watching at home, we certainly appreciate it. That's going to do it for us tonight from the Eldora Speedway. We'll be back live on Thursday night with Short Track Rivals Racing, a limited late model series at 9 p.m. Eastern. come on out, tune in, watch along with us, and have some fun on Thursday night. But that's going to do it for us. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.